Hello, everybody. Welcome back to LMS content for the BSc 6M Computer Network. Uh, we know that so far that we have covered four important sessions in a computer network. Today, I am going to deal with one of the important session, which is categorized as a long-term communication. I'm not talking about a short-term communication. Long term communication means a communication can enable for the longer duration of it, so communication can extend beyond our reachable. That's what I said, long term communication. In that session 1, session 2, session 3, after the session 4, whatever the issues are there, please make a note and send it to my mail id. I can clarify. My mail ID is jswami@gmail.com. I'm Sangaya Swami, working with the Government First Grade College as Assistant Professor in Computer Science Department. In a computer network, today we're going to talk about, or we can say the sharing a knowledge about how radio signals and the satellite communication makes our life more easier. As per radio signals are concerned, if you focus, either it is an amplitude modulation or the phase modulation or the frequency modulation, we propagate within the specific geographical propagation, and we keep communicating with a different destination or the source and destination devices, transmitting over different LPT or the HPT transponders. But in extent to that, if go beyond a standard communication, let's take beyond a physical and geographical, or the longer satellite communication, we have to understand the basic concept of how these satellite communication will increase our communication methods. So if you want to know the communication, especially in a satellite, you need not look into the satellites. Understand the basic concept of how the satellite works and functions. If you want to know how satellite communication, there is a n number of videos are there. There is a n number of content creation and the lecture sessions are there on the net. So here I'm just trying to give you the brief idea about how these satellite communication will enhance the quality of transmission. Many of us, we know the transmission is the more or less, it is transmitting various media sources from source to, or you can call it as a host, to another destination, and reciprocately destination to a source, right? Now we move on this to the next slide. See, satellite communication. Satellite communication has a two important aspect. One is satellite is placed in an orbital or orbital movement from the earth, from the surface of an earth, and through this we have two different uplink frequency and the downlink frequency. So these two frequency makes a transponder to activate and attenuate the different channels for the communication, and this communication makes an important aspect, because once if your satellite start responding to a station, this means the satellite is inactive. And of course, a satellite has also a life. We can call the satellite life. Here, once it starts sending and receiving the signals from the Earth station, so this means that your transponders as mediate to communicate anywhere on the surface of an Earth. So satellite is designed and scaled up in such a way that it make use of other parameters of communication, make more easily to the humankind. So satellite has a longer history. I'm not explaining all the proceedings of how the satellite has come into a picture, how the satellite makes our human life more easily. No. It's a very simple. Please remember that satellite communication is a communication over and above the surface of an Earth, where it is placed. The satellite is placed in orbitical. From the orbitical, we are sending and receiving different communication methods. Right now, basics of satellite. So, satellite needs one is where exactly you are placing in an orbital, and what are the base stations where you are supposed to control it, because base station controls the satellite, and reciprocately satellite will transmit all their communication important links to your base stations only. No other resources can be used to interfere your satellite communication. That's what. And every communication has a specific spectrum to be allocated, and beyond within that your satellite will be get communicated through the channels of spectrum. And there is a different bands, C band, Ku band, and other things are there. So I'm not going in detail about how these bands will help you to understand, but it is always a better to understand these bands creates a channels to communicate. So that is a basic. And satellite, how do you define basically the satellite? Satellite is a communication devices which can be used over the earth placed in an orbitical using uplink and the downlink frequency. So communication, you need to remember overall the satellite communication is a communication device, right? Now how do we make a communication? So very simple. Communication channels are distributed by creating a spread spectrum, and through the spread spectrum we can enable our communication methods and interact with the satellite so that it will get distributed on the top of the earth, where your base stations and other receiving stations are located. Now the types of satellite: synchronous satellites are there, geosynchronous satellites are there, orbital satellites with a different designation and the parameters are there. So if you classify more than 21 to 22 different types of satellites are there, but normally we study only the synchronous and the asynchronous or geostationary satellite that we are going to study. Your oceanic, then we have a different parameters to be analyzed it. Okay, now you can study the types of satellite as I am briefing over here. Capacity allocation is depends on the capacity of a satellite and how much data we can allocate to that each subscriber. Because once if you launch a satellite, the satellite will take a responsible place in an orbit, and it has its own way of execution, that is called the systematic execution of a satellite. And the control stations will know that what are the facility or what are the application that we can consider to interact with the satellites, and what are the commercial applications, scientific applications, or the study parameters of an earth. This all depends on your control units of a satellite, and the satellite controlling unit will decide what kind of a services they want to share with the service providers. Individual as a citizen, that you cannot access it directly from your satellites, you have to go through the channelization of a subscriber or the service providers. That is a capacity allocation from the each service provider, and these service providers will hook into a service of a satellite provider. Say Indian government, say we have a DRDO is there. We know that well-known organization ISRO is there, Indian Space Research Organization, where they deal with all the capacity allocation and selecting the service provider and allocating to a spectrum. Now we move on to basically how do satellites work. Very important thing. I request all of you, please. There is a 3-minute video that is created by ISRO, or there is a 10-minute video how exactly the satellite works in a gigs of working. If you see those two videos, will help you to understand how exactly the satellite functions and satellite works in a real time. Okay, so but theoretically it is not required for you to know all the details of it. Here I am trying to explain you. Two stations on the earth want to communicate through a radio broadcast but are too far away to use a conventional means, so we cannot correlate with them, so we have to depend on the satellite, because one is located somewhere in other part of the earth, another station is located somewhere other part of it, both are quite opposite directions. It is away from the line of sight, then you cannot expect a communication to happen. ಇದು ಒಂದು ದಿಕ್ಕಲ್ಲಿದ್ದರೆ ಎನದರ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಸ್ಟೇಷನ್ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಅದು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ದಿಕ್ಕಲ್ಲಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಹಾಗೆ ಅಂಥ ಸ್ಥಿತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ ಅಂದರೆ when you're trying to communicate through your line of sight or the simple propagation methods of your base station, then it will not get communicated. Then we have to depend on satellites. So the two stations can use a satellite as a relay station for their communications. ಒಂದು ಕಡೆ ಒಂದು ಲೊಕೇಶನ್ ಆಫ್ ಸ್ಟೇಷನ್ಲಿಂದ ನೀವು ಬ್ರಾಡ್ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ದ ಸೆಟಲೈಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ಚರ್ ಆಸ್ ಅ ರಿಸೀವಿಂಗ್, ದಟ್ಸ್ ವಿ ಕಾಲ್ ಎಸ್ ಅನ್ ಅಪ್ಲಿಂಕ್ ಫ್ರೀಕ್ವೆನ್ಸಿ, and in the other side it will get transmitted to the downlink frequency. This is how the things will work. One earth station send a transmit to a satellite. This is called uplink frequency. ನಾನು ಅದೇ ಹೇಳ್ದಲ್ಲ ನಿಮಗೆ. This satellite transponder converts a signal and send it down to a second earth station. This is called the downlink. ಇದು ಈ ರೀತಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. Your satellite is placed in orbitally somewhere above your head, of course on the top of a sky, but you cannot see where exactly the satellite is located from through a naked eyes when you are standing on the earth. So satellites are orbital, it's beyond our limitation, but you can see the monitoring of a satellite agencies will locate very easily, because it will not go beyond the rocket of it. So it is just a simple above the particular space cycle, then you can find out. So here if your satellite is located here, it will connect uplink frequency, another side is a downlink frequency here. So this satellite converts the signal and send it down to a second earth station, that is called the downlink frequency. Okay, so the simple phenomena is satellites devices are used as a media agents. It will mediate between two workstations that is located far away. Now basic advantages of satellite. The advantages of communication over a terrestrial communication ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ the coverage area of a satellite greatly exceeds that of terrestrial system. This system will transmit into different expected range, we call it as a zonal range, at the range of transmission. And the transmission cost of a satellite is independent of the distance from the center of coverage. How much? Say it all set, the parameters are set by the base stations or the earth stations. They'll know what is the cost which is involved for communicating it. And satellite to satellite communication is very precise. So that's what the whole global is a village anta ನಾವು ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, because you can sit over here and communicate anywhere in the world through a satellite, and satellite will help you to locate geophysically even the smallest particle on the earth, and higher bandwidth are available for use. So nowadays we are enjoying the data because of the satellite communication has enhanced the capacity of it, right? Now what are the disadvantages of satellite? If we move on to learning or understanding the disadvantages, the disadvantages of satellite communication deals with launching satellite into orbits is a costlier affair, where it is not just an organizational or anybody's scale up. So it is a big companies or big organization comes under the government will able to launch the satellite in the specific allocated budget. Nowadays there is one good advantage of it is many students are designing a satellites. We call it the recently NIT Engineering College or many other engineering colleges or you can gain Manipal higher education are designing. They are allocating the students to set up a mini projects for creating a satellite. And those satellites will greatly help to understand the basics of satellite, and even you can launch those student created satellite along with launching of major satellites. Okay, and there is a larger propagation delay in a satellite communication than is a terrestrial communication. That communication can make use of allocation of a bandwidth, right? So basic factor in a satellite communication is elevation angle. The angle of horizontal of the earth's surface to the center line of the satellite transmission beam we call is an elevation angle. So every satellite will specifically identify the elevation angle, and this affects the satellite coverage area. We can call it, ideally you want a elevation angle of 0 degrees so the transmission beam reaches the horizon visible to the satellite in all the direction. This means that you have to keep completely focused on how exactly you are setting a target. If India launches, they'll keep adjusting angle of elevation where we get a maximum usage of transmission. However, because of environment factors like objects blocking the transmission, atmospheric attenuations ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ earth electrical background noise ಇರ್ಬೋದು, there is a minimum elevation angle of earth stations. ಈ ರೀತಿ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಪ್ಯಾರಾಮೀಟರ್ಸ್ನ we have to consider for setting up elevation of an angle, right? So what are other things that we have to consider before setting up these satellites to be broadcasted? Satellite could be used to broadcast it. The reason is, nowadays most of the metro cities are having a high-rise buildings. In a high-rise building, you have to design your transponders. Means you have to design so that it will cover in all the geographical locations of your places. So when we set up the base station, when we set up the receiving stations of satellite, we have to depend on many factors. That's what I said. So you have to depend on the many factors before we setting up it. Factors in satellite communication, say coverage angle. As an elevation angle, there is a coverage angle. A measured portion of the earth surface visible to a satellite, taking the minimum elevation angle into an account. See, if you say R is equal to R plus H, where this is an equation which we use as standard for coverage angle calculations. So R is a rate of elevation plus a height in which that it is located. R divided by R plus H is equal to sine of, you open bracket where the equation, this equation goes like this: pi by 2 minus beta minus theta divided by sine theta plus pi by 2 is equal to cos of beta minus theta divided by cos of theta, where R is we can call the distance from earth radius, that is a 6,370 kilometer from the earth, and H is a satellite orbit height which is we have to calculate. B is a coverage angle, and theta is a minimum elevation angle we set for the satellite. This is a basic equation that we have to think about calculating the this thing, and here you know that these things are very important in the equation is concerned, right? Other factors in the satellite communications are like set the distance between earth station and a satellite is called a free space loss. It's a very interesting now. The distance between earth station and the satellite is how much. If you keep far away from your basic transponders, then it will create a more free space loss anta ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಅದನ್ನು we have to reduce it. Satellite footprint, another important term in satellite is satellite footprint. The satellite transmission state is the strongest in the center of transmission and decreases further from the center as a free space loss is increases. So this is a basic basic phenomena in the satellite communication. All right. Now, what is necessary in dealing with the free space or the loss space? The reason here is, when you increase the distance, you keep on moving orbit to an orbit. Certain basic preliminaries that we lose in identifying the distance in which we are going to cover of a angle of coverage. If a angle of coverage is better for a particular space where where your satellite is located, then it is going to help us in communicating in a longer. An atmospheric attenuation caused by air and water can be impair the transmission. It is particularly bad during the rain and fog. So that's what if you see, suppose you placed a dish antenna on top of your house, what happens here is, if a rain is coming, if a continuously raining, then your dish antenna which is located at the on the top of your house could not locate the coverage angle, or the distortion occurred due to atmospheric noise. Your DTH, or your dish, is not going to receive any of the frequency it's supposed to receive from a satellite. That's what how you lose the contact of it, right? Now, we move on to the next slide. How satellites are used? This is different service types, like fixed service satellites we call as a FSS. So before launching any of the satellite, I'll tell you, companies already pre-design what are the service types that we are going to have. This is a main theme of a satellite. What purpose the satellite is designed. And every satellite when we design, there we should keep the minimum level of satellite, minimum level of standardization of satellite. Example, point-to-point communication satellites we use. This means that we are going to use only that purpose. We are not going to study the oceanographic elements and the structures of the earth. Recently, agriculture pattern that if we want to study, we have to depend on agriculture satellites, which is recently placed from in India, right? Broadcast service satellites we call as a BSS, like a satellite television, radio, and other communication bandwidth that we use this. Also called a direct broadcast services, or the DBSS. And a mobile service satellites, there's a many satellites that we place to communicate only corresponding to mobile towers which are placed on the earth stations, right? So satellite phones, of course, many government to government we keep communications through a satellite phones, right? Types of satellite, as I said earlier, satellite orbits, geostationary, or you can say earth orbitical, low earth orbitical, medium earth orbitical, then ammonia orbitical, HAPs we can call, and frequency of bands, it depends on how these satellites are there, right? But basic types are geostationary located, low earth orbitical satellites, or the medium earth orbitical satellites. So these three categories satellites we used maximum for our day-to-day use, right? The definition of geostationary earth orbit. See, these satellites are in orbit 35,863 kilometers above the earth's surface along the equator, so that you know what is the distance from the earth and how to set up the base stations, and what is the angle of coverage and angle of elevations, or the coverage angle that we can say. Easily we can calculate and fix the service lines. What are the service lines that you are trying to fix it up? Then move on to that. Objects in the geostationary orbit revolve around the earth at the same speed as the earth rotates. This means that geosatellites remain in the same position relative to the surface of earth. This is one important thing. Next is, another advantages of geostationary satellites are, a geosatellite distance from earth gives it a larger coverage area, almost 4 of the earth's surfaces. And geosatellites have a 24-hour view of a particular area where you can easily trace and look into it. These factors make it ideal for the satellite broadcast and other multi-point application when you use it, right? There are the certain disadvantages of geostationary satellites. A geosatellite distance also causes to have both a comparatively weak signal and a time delay in the signal, which is a bad for point-to-point communication. Geosatellite center along the equator has a difficulty broadcasting signals to the near polar regions. That's one of the important thing here. Low Earth orbit. Another important categorical satellites we call as a LEO are the low Earth orbits. These satellites are much closer to the Earth than the geo satellites. So low Earth, that's what the word term low Earth orbits, in the sense they are very close to the Earth orbits, ranging from 500 to 1500 kilometer above the surface of your Earth. Okay, and these satellites will easy to reach for communication purpose. Okay, and LEO satellites don't stay in a fixed position relative to the surface and are only visible for 15 to 20 minutes in each pass when you clear it. A network of LEO satellite is necessary, that is, a low orbit is necessary to LEO satellite to be useful in a standard way of designing it, right? Now, what are the advantages? A low Earth orbit satellite proximity to Earth's compared to geoorbital satellite gives it a better signal strength and less of a time delay, which makes it a better for prior point to point communications. So we're talking about how these wide area network and the local area network are gaining a momentum as per your say banking ATM operations and other LEO satellites which we are using it, right? A LEO satellite's a smaller area of a coverage is a less of say we can call the waste of a bandwidth, and in most cases what happens here is we generally use for network service providers and ISPs. One of the disadvantages of low Earth orbit is a network of low Earth orbit satellite is a needed, which can be a costly. So individuals cannot afford, but there are the certain companies which you can place a request from the government to get a services from the low Earth orbit services. So like in India, Tata has taken a stake from the Indian low orbit orbital cycles. There are the many people, service providers has taken a part of it. And that's what now you are enjoying, Tata Sky and other things, how these things will work when your entertainment is concerned. And atmospheric traffic of LEO Earth satellites causing a gradual orbital deterioration. So this makes, it creates a called a garbage, create a more garbages in an orbit. We move on to the medium Earth orbit, where the medium Earth orbit satellite is an orbit somewhere between 8,000 kilometer to 18,000 kilometer above the Earth's surface. And these satellites are similar to, of course, a low Earth orbit satellite in functionality. This will not make. Only thing is, satellites are visible much longer periods of a time than the low Earth orbit satellite, usually between 2 to 8 hours. So this means there is, you have a fixed time of a service where you can enable it. Okay, and larger coverage area than the LEO satellites, because when you are sitting into a small surface of it and it is sitting on the top large where you can see a larger objects of it. That is the thing. And medium Earth orbit satellites, longer duration of visibility and wider footprint means fewer satellites are needed in the network that has a LEO. This means that lower Earth orbits can be controlled by medium Earth orbits. One of the biggest disadvantages of medium Earth orbit is distance gives it a longer time delay in a weaker signal. So this means that if you are transmitted the uplink frequency to a satellite is a very weak, you cannot reach to a destination. So there is a problem of disconnecting the satellite communication over a period of a time. So here we need to have a stronger communication of uplink frequency. You need to maintain and control of it. Okay. Other orbits like Molniya orbit satellites we used by Russia for decades old, where these satellites will gradually increases on the orbital and the elliptical orbit. They uses a separate techniques for reaching it to it. But a series of Molniya satellites connect like a geo satellite only. But Russian has control over these Molniya orbital satellites, and they have their own space for usage. Nowadays, using space, you need a World Organization permission to what kind of a satellite that you are placing. You have to take in all the policies in a place before launching the satellite, and there are some norms that we have to follow for before launching it, right? See, high altitude platform we can call the HAP satellites. One of the newest idea in a satellite communication is called the high altitude platform, HAP satellites. These we call as a blimp or the plane around 20 kilometer above the Earth's surface is used as a satellite. That's what I said, the smaller satellites as a lower orbital satellites. So high altitude platform satellites. In India, we are starting experimentally recently. So it may grow. We have a good future over high altitude platform for designing and implementing a satellite. But it's cheaper to put in a position, but would require a lot of them into a network. This create a more messy and a traffic. So when you frequency bands are concerned, different kinds of satellite use the different frequency bands. L band, that is 1 to 2 gigahertz, used by your medium satellites. S band 2 to 4 gigahertz frequency. C band 4 to 8 gigahertz. X band 8 to 12.5 gigahertz. Q band 12.5 to 18 gigahertz. K band satellites range in between 18 to 26, or maybe nearing to a 27. K band is 26.5 to 40 gigahertz, used by FSS. Right. Next is a capacity allocation. FDM is a frequency division multiple access, has a two parameters of dynamic allocation and sequential allocation for capacity is concerned in a frequency. And another important thing is a time division multiple access, where time can be divided among the different channels of distribution and advantages over FDMA. So FDMA is a satellite frequency already broken into bands and broken into a smaller channels in frequency. Division multiple access. Overall, the bandwidth within the frequency is increased due to the frequency reuse of it. So these are the important points you need to remember as per your satellite learning is concerned. If you see the number of such channels limited by frequency divisions are such as like a thermal noise increases, where the 2 weak signal will be affected by background noise, where there is a lot of rain, a thunderstorm, weather, and heavy, we can call as a heavy storm, will make the weaker satellites. And intermodulation noise, a stronger signal will cause a noise. See, satellites are not placed only from in India, satellites are placed all over the world from a different countries at the different places. And whenever the communication crosstalk are there, it is because of there is a cross frequency communication channelization between the different satellites, right? Okay. Now another important term in a satellite is a TDMA, time division multiple access. It is breaks a transmission into multiple time slots, each one dedicated to a different transmitter, where the TDMA is increasingly becoming a more widespread in a satellite communication. So TDMA uses the same techniques as we say that dynamic or frequency allocation. It does the same job of it. If you keep continuing on the TDMA, there's advantages of TDMA over FDMA. There's a digital equipment used in time division multiple is increasingly become cheaper. The reason is here we are using more number of time allocation for a channels rather than individual frequency. That is one thing you need to remember. And there are the advantages of digital transmission technique, error corrections, lack of intermodulation noise means increased efficiency. There are many more such important stuff are there. So we conclude here. Thank you very much for please listening to session 5 for a computer science under the computer network. Thank you very much. Have a good time. We will see in the next session.